Alrighty, y'all, welcome to Ellis Mowers. We're on part 2 of this Craftsman with the Kohler command engine on it. In part 1, you saw me put a starter solenoid on it. You also saw me put a deck belt on it. So we got those bases covered, and now we're going to move on to what could, I guess, be called the easy stuff, so to speak. I also put a tire tube in. I did that off camera because I've done that many times. All we got to do is sharpen the blades on it, change the oil in it, change the fuel line in it as well. And we'll see about the best approach to going to that is, because you see it runs through the, actually runs through the frame right there. And then we'll grease everything up and test mow it because there's a little bit of a squeak in the front end. I don't know if these are greasable. They are greasable wheels, so that's a good thing. We'll put grease in the wheels, and that should stop our squeaking, hopefully. So I know I complain about this every single time I do riding mower blades, but I have a jack here. And what I usually do is, because I was a dummy and I sold my mower jack last year, I'm going to jack up. I'm going to jack the mower up at the drive pulley here. What I'll do, because I've got a jack, this jack's really old, takes forever to jack up. I'll go ahead and jack all this up at the pulley, and then I'll get my, it's either a 9/16 or a half. I think it's a 9/16 for these. I'll go ahead and finish jacking it up at the pulley here, and then I'll put a jack stand under the deck, and that secures it enough and also gives me enough room so that I can get leverage with a 1/2-inch impact, which makes your life a whole lot easier getting these blades off and back on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. One other thing you can do to help combat any spinning or anything of that nature is you can go ahead and put the blades in the on position. Have the deck all the way up. So I'll go ahead and finish jacking this up. We'll get under the deck and we'll go ahead and take the blades off, sharpen them up. Alright, so I got you under the deck here. Usually I jack the jack all the way up. I'll show you that. Jacks all the way up and put a jack stand under the deck. And that kind of saves my butt just in case it decides it wants to come crashing down, but this does work. 9/16. Just pop under here. Sometimes you have to raise the deck on one side. So much easier than using a blade stop and trying to turn it off with a breaker bar and stuff like that. And you can see the star bits are in great shape on this. So I'm going to take these over to the bench. I'll show you the condition of the blades real quick. They have lost just a tiny bit of their lift on the end right there. Just a tiny bit. But overall they're still in very good shape. We'll save these blades and put them back onto this mower. The other one looks basically the exact same. So I'll go ahead and sharpen them. All you got to do is fit them back into the star bits. Usually I'll hand thread them. I'll probably show you that since this video is really not going to be terribly long. And then we'll pop the blades back on, change the oil in it, change out the fuel lines, and give it a nice clean. Should be a nice mower once we finish with it. Alright, so obviously it's the same side. You do the same for both sides. But what we're going to do is throw this back on. Remember, the lift side goes up. It doesn't go like this. You don't want to beat down your grass. You also don't want to cut the wrong way with it. Lift side goes up. You'll always get it right if you do that. We're going to pop it back into the star bit there. What I usually do is I try and throw it into the star, and then come down here. And take a look at the pine trees from the ground while I'm doing this. Hopefully my arm's not in the way. But all I'm doing is threading this back in. The reason why I thread it back in as opposed to impact it back in is because I like to hold the blade inside the star bit, or the star groove, so that I don't accidentally miss it whenever I impact it back. Now I'll go ahead and impact it back. And that's done. I'll do the other side, and then we'll give this thing an oil change, which anybody and everybody can do. So I'll do that off camera. But we'll put fuel lines in it. I'll show you how to put fuel lines in one of these things. So I've moved on to the gas, and what I wanted to show y'all is this is the best approach that I can tell to do this. It's two 3/8 inch bolts. You just take out, it takes the engine shroud off, and it also takes the gas tank off. I've just tilted the gas tank over here because there's not a lot of gas in it. You don't want to be doing this with a full tank of gas. So I don't have a lot of gas in it. So I figured I can just do this, and I'm just going to take some pliers and take off all the fuel lines. I actually don't even need pliers for that one because it's, you can see how bad these things are starting to look. I'll have some gas come out. That ain't no big deal. And I'm just taking the fuel lines off of the fuel filter and all that other good stuff. I'll save the clips, but just got to take the clamp off of this one and feed it right through there and feed it up and just take it off of the gas tank. Take what you have, take the new line and just cut it to the length of the old line, and you're good to go. So I'll go ahead and do that. It's really easy to do. I just wanted to show you the way that I do it when there's maybe just a little bit of gas in the tank, quarter tank or less, just to make it a little bit easier for everybody and not have to go through the hassle of trying to drain the tank out and messing with gas and stuff like that. So just wanted to show that to y'all. I'll put the fuel lines on it. I think I'm going to put that other hood on it also, and we'll give a final look and test. Alright, so we are finished with the Craftsman. I have decided to keep this current hood on it. Not, like I said, it's not ideal and not beautiful, but it is functional. It stays on and does the job that it needs to do. I'll save the other hood for another day. The reason why I went ahead and did that is because I already had somebody that wanted the gray 38-inch Craftsman, the one that didn't have headlights on it. And I messaged her about this. I'm like, hey, or I told her, I said, I'll let you know when I get another one ready. I said, it'll probably be a couple days. So I got this one ready. I said, it's a 42-inch, 15 horsepower Kohler. Just cut my yard with it. Cuts great. The deck is level as level can be on it. And I've shown y'all many times, but it's just a matter of taking these, they're right here, the nuts for the deck leveling tool, or 9/16, and just cranking those nuts up and down on the side to level kind of more the middle to the back of the deck. And then to raise the front of the deck, you take care of those. They're 3/4 on the front and the back. Sometimes you have to take those arms out to level them. And I just actually use oil filter boxes to level it, because usually the top of an oil filter box, because I do the 3614 oil filters on these that you put in the cars. I've done like 7 or 8 of them, and I've never had an issue with them. So they pretty much go about to the top of the oil filters, about where you want the blades to be. So that's all fixed. The deck's level, ready to go. I'll give y'all a final look and test. The mower is surging just a tiny bit, but only once it gets about 1/4 of a tank, which in my experience the Kohlers are bad about doing that, but I'll totally live with it. Oh, I don't have the fuel shut off on. I turned the gas off on it. That'll do it. Check that again. That's better. Turn off the gas on it. So I'd say I just finished cutting the grass with it. It should be fine. Brakes are working good. Shifter's working good. It's just sometimes a little difficult to get into reverse, but not too bad. Battery's charging on it. You can hear it surging just a tiny bit. Not really so much right there. I do need to put a little electrical tape on those wires I showed you earlier in part 1, but that's it. Hood's a little, like I said, the hood's a little off on it, but and the transaxle shifting a lot better too. I got a mulching plate on it because I mulched my yard, so. And let's see. There's your brakes. So that's that. Like I said, I think it is just barely seeping a little bit of gas into the oil. So the needle and seat is probably not the best on it. However, that's basically every Kohler command that you're going to find, especially once you get up in the age. I could try and rebuild the carburetor, but it's running beautifully as it is. It's set for I don't know how long with gas in it, and it started right up. So plus the mower is almost 25 years old. It's aged pretty well, apart from that little part in the front there with the hood. I can show you all under it real quick. That's really the only nuisance. So you can see it just falls down like that whenever you open it, but I can open it all the way and it's not gonna fall off. So, not the most ideal situation, but it works. Oh, I need to put my fuel line clamp back on. Oops, I didn't do that. So I'll put that on that side, and we'll be done with this lawnmower. Like I said, I already got a buyer for it. $400. Let's see. So let me give you a backdrop of what I've got in the mower. I got $150 in the mower. Got about $35 in parts. So $185. I've worked on it maybe 5 hours at the most, and I'll be selling it for $400 plus a $20 delivery fee. So you can't really beat that, honestly. Nice, you know, you do the little hourly pay. Talking about maybe about $40 an hour if you're, which is about a shop rate for a backyard guy like me. So, and then maybe, you know, an extra hour to deliver it, so it's really not too bad. But I'll tell you one thing, these command engines are excellent. I really like the command engines. They do a great job. They'll run for a good little while, truthfully, with very minimal issues. Just gotta get the hood back on it right. It's probably as good as I'm gonna get it, but I'll get it back on it right. But when you get to the newer mower, and this one will be coming up, I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do with it. Nice Husqvarna. I've got the deck chute and stuff for it. It's 20 horse, everybody's dreaded Kohler Courage, and it's got the dreaded block crack in it. So I don't know if I'm going to repair that block, or I got some metal shavings down there too, it looks like, or something. That's not good. We might find more damage after I open it up a little bit more. But these command engines will run forever and ever, as opposed to them Kohler Courage engines. So, like I said, apart from the cosmetic on the front with the hood, and the thing is, I just don't really have a good place to mount this hood back is the problem. And so it'll just live like this and go along with it, I guess. So, I mean, it's not really in danger of coming off or anything. So just kind of live with what you can live with, you know. So I appreciate y'all watching as always. Nice little two-parter here. Not too terrible in terms of the fixes on this. Starter solenoid, a lot of wear and tear items, truthfully, on this. Starter solenoid, new fuel line, deck belt, blade sharpening, and brakes. Unseized brakes. That was it. I appreciate y'all watching as always. You can catch me online at Ellis Mowers 09, Instagram and Facebook. Till the next video, I'll see you then.